Hi guys, it's Teresa, gardening on the West Fork. But what we're talking about today is the willow tree, and I'll tell you why. Why are the chairs off the river deck my favorite spot to sit with coffee? It's because the weeping willow is weeping, and not in its flowing capacity because of its limbs, how they weep. It's because we have honeydew sap, which really isn't a sap. It means I have an infestation of aphids, and it's a little side note, it won't kill the tree, but what happens is these aphids eat the sap, and what they don't digest, they excrete in this form of a sticky honeydew that some people eat. I can't believe that. It's just the thought of eating someone's excrement. Anyhow, though, it's very sticky, and I've been noticing it for the last 2 weeks, and probably it's because we're in a drought situation. We were having lots of rain in June and July with high temperatures, which stresses the tree, but it was keeping it washed off. And then we got into the drought, and now I have no way ever to get to every limb and branch with a hose. So that's one way to treat this honeydew sap problem is you can be washing the aphids off, or scale can cause the same situation in your trees. And I think I don't know if I mentioned, though, it's not just selective to weeping willows. It can go to oaks and poplars and maples and fruit trees, peach trees, apple trees, some conifers like the junipers we had. I never sat under the junipers, but they probably could have been weeping. I don't know. Well, they're, yeah, weeping or dripping that honey sap. But what you can do, you can use neem oil on a smaller tree if you want to, organic. Yeah, something like this. If this had aphids and it doesn't, you could be spraying it with water, soapy water, or use neem oil, anything organic. There are some other systemic applications that aren't organic that you could use, but I'm not going to do that to my tree because I have plants under there and I have beneficial bugs, like wasps. I don't have any ladybugs. If I had ladybugs, they would be eating the aphids. The wasps that like the honey would be eating the honey, and it would help control the situation. But I don't know if you guys are having a lot of ladybugs. I don't see any ladybugs yet. So that would be helpful. But at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for cooler temperatures, which will be happening, not in the next 2 weeks, and rain, which isn't going to be happening in the next 2 weeks, to help wash the aphids off and kill them off a little bit. Until then, I want to show you, what I noticed in order to bring the chairs out from under the tree. You can feel it when you're walking through here. It feels like a little raindrop shower, but it isn't. At first, after Reggie had just stained the deck a couple weeks ago, the river deck and the whole house, I thought it was that maybe it didn't dry out enough and I came here too soon.
Oh, you thought the stain was still sticky?
Yeah, I thought the stain was still sticky. Listen.
Put a mic down there.
Yeah. And if you have any of this in your driveway, whether it's the willow tree, oak tree, maple tree, it's not. It's honeydew excrement from the aphids, or scale, or maybe a whitefly, I think was another one. So all I'm doing here, what?
But do you have an example?
Oh, yeah. You can see that the aphids, these little white aphids, are stuck to this sticky.
Let's get a close up here.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
There's one.
Look how shiny. This isn't the stain. This is that honeydew that is coming from the tree, from the excrement of the, oh gosh, of the aphids. So my solution is I'm just going to be patient and wait, because it won't kill the tree. The tree, we know, because John has told me, my tree person, Teresa, we're going to hold on to it as long as you want. But, I was reading that, 75 years is a long time for a willow tree, but my neighbor's is 90, because when we moved in 30 years ago, it was 60 years old. I haven't walked over there to see if it's full of aphids too. I just assume that it is. But anyhow, So I'm hoping I can get a few more years out of this tree. And
Well, the aphids are not going to kill it,
no,
right?
no, it's just you don't want to be sitting on it, and it's it can leave a black mold um, on the leaves of things, which I'll be cleaning all this off once it frosts, or even before it frosts, because it's looking so ugly. But if you have this on any of your trees, let me know, particularly if you're in West Virginia. And do you treat yours any differently? But when you have this huge tree, I don't know how tall it is, there's just not much you can do except be patient, and hopefully Mother Nature will take care of itself. And they say you can't predict if there's going to be another big influx of aphids on the tree next season. As I said, we've been here 32 years. We've never had this.
No, never.
So I don't know if it was the stress of last summer's drought that maybe caused what happened, but I didn't have that stickiness last year. I was sitting on my deck every day.
Yeah.
Anyhow, the good news is it won't kill it, but I've learned a lot. And I've learned a lot about bee honey too, which I don't know.
No, you don't want to go there.
I don't want to go there on the how, what the bees do to make their honey. You can delve too deep into what you eat and how it's made. Anyhow, guys, that is it on gardening on the West Fork. So thanks for watching, and I hope your trees are staying healthy. But just be patient. If it's aphids in a big tree like that, nature will take care of itself. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you the next time. Bye.